Hey everybody, welcome back to the DWF. We are still going through the action figure collection. We are on to the Men's Elites round 2, but we've got a lot of them again. We are working our way through this collection, just showing you guys what's out there, what's available, things maybe you have missed. I know there's been figures that I have missed over the years, and to have something like this, if someone would have gone through and documented and done something like this from the people that I watched, just so I could see all the different stuff that's out there, probably wouldn't be missing as much as I did. Let's start with the elephant in the room. I do this every time, but we got to start with the elephant in the room, who's not actually a WWE wrestling figure. So elephant, I'm sorry, we're not actually gonna start there. We're gonna start here with Hornswoggle. We've got a DX Hornswoggle here. Did you guys like that transition? We've got Omos. Just a big... and you know what? Setting those two characters up next to each other... dang, that's pretty cool. Here's the forgotten member of Imperium. That I'm actually blanking on his name right now. It's Gunther Giovanni. Is that who this one is? Giovanni? I think that's a G for Giovanni, I think. Here we've got Kip Sabian and Alex Shelley. This Motor City Machine Guns. Some of the cooler figures that have been released that I've picked up this year. I really like them. Dragon Lee. Amazing character, amazing figure. We've got Andrade. In this gear, I think he was, because this is when he still wore the mask all the time. Well, not all the time, but like D'Lo Brown. We've got D'Lo down here just trying to get some attention. But back to that Andrade, I think he had another name, El something. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. We've got the Fashion Popo here, Prince Pretty and Fandango, or Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Prince Pretty's his up, up, down, down name. I forgot that that's not his actual wrestling name. Here we've got a Jax John Cena. When you can throw out these side kicks, like so, because you had that articulation somewhat in these early Jax figures. Here we have one of my favorite New Day costumes, or figures at least. I loved this black, gold, and silver. I was really hoping we would get updates of them. Here we have a custom Dexter Lumis, which we used a Dexter Lumis Basic and an Elias, thanks to our good friend, mad scientist, Dr. Figurini, who gave us the formula to make this, and it turned out awesome. I love it. Easily best Dexter Lumis I have in my collection. Mizdow, or Damien Sandow, when he was doing his Miz. Here we have Wes Lee from back in the day. Wes Lee. We've got We the Ones Solo, when he was part of the Bloodline, was still the enforcer of the Bloodline then. Here was a custom character I had forgotten about. Don't know if I ever gave him a name. He's got an Uso Day One-ish jacket, puffer vest. He's got the Redrick Strong camo shorts there. Don't know whose hand that was, and honestly I don't even remember whose head this is. Is this a Zack Ryder that was fixed up a little bit? Looks like maybe it was a Zack Ryder from back in the day. Here we've got American Alpha, or sorry, American Made, the Creed brothers. Oh, and the backs. Those guys. I've seen these guys shell forming so much recently. Even though they are first time in the line, they're just shell forming like crazy. We've got Judgment Day Priest, which is probably my favorite Priest figure. I just think that one's a cool one. We've got a Tamatonga that they did my boy dirty here with this gigantic head. I mean, look at that forehead. That looks like a Peyton Manning size forehead. But hey, I guess he's got brains. I don't know. It's up there. Something's up there. We've got Paul Heyman from the 3-pack with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, I believe, was the 3-pack he was in. Here we've got ourselves a non-toxic man. Here we have got Angelo Dawkins Okay, it's Kit Wilson, guys. So I just wanted that joke to sit, and I was going to walk away from it. Here we have Butch. Then they renamed him to Pete Dunne again. So Pete Dunne is back. I was a fan of him in NXT UK, and then WWE just has not done much with. Speaking of people I was fans of, Austin Theory was awesome, and I had all the hype in the world for him, and I feel like he's still a good talent. He's just wasted. Here we've got Big Bad Bronson Reed. This is the Bronson Reed that came with the jacket. If this color scheme looks familiar, this is the jacket I threw on my custom KSI. Here we've got Redbeard or Eric Rowan, which I'm a little disappointed because when you strip this thing down, this is the exact same Braun Strowman body mold, just done up different to make it Eric Rowan or Redbeard. But it's the same Braun Strowman body mold, and I don't think that Braun and Eric Rowan are the same build. But maybe I'm getting a little too picky. I don't know. Here's Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. I don't remember which is which anymore. I think Cruz del Toro is the one with the necklace, but I don't remember. I swapped them off and put them on Mustafa Ali bodies from Retribution, because those were the basics. Here we've got another John Cena, but this time with the green pants, the green jorts. But we missed a Samoa Joe back here. Don't want to miss Samoa Joe. Here we've got coolest dude in the room. You know it, Big Cass. Here's Robert Roode checking in and hanging out. Here is the other Imperium, Tiffany Stratton's husband. Shoot, what's his name? Ludwig Kaiser, I think. Oh, yeah, right there. I need to check the boots. The boots are good giveaways. LK, it's Ludwig Kaiser, or Tiffany Stratton's husband, or fiance, or whatever they are. DX, Shawn Michaels. We've got a Ryback checking into the game. We've got Jimmy Wang Yang. That's a fun one. We have my favorite gear, and probably, like, you could slap this gear on any figure, and I'd be incredibly happy with it, because I love the color scheme. But the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, with the Miami Vice jerseys and shorts, I love it so much. Like, that, these figures are always going to be 10 out of 10 for me, just because of this gear. And look, you've got the cloth goods shirt. It's not a Velcro one either, so it's like just the slide on, slide off shirt. Like, it is perfect. Never change that formula. Here we've got Otis, the Shoosh Otis. Here we've got Elton Prince, the now I feel like forgotten about Pretty Deadly member, because Kit Wilson with his non-toxic thing really blew up. That became the thing. Here's the Phantom of the Opera Miz. Don't have the mask for him. Buddy Murphy, Buddy Matthews. Or Rhea Ripley's husband, I guess I could say now. Here, my first go around at New Day figures was this orange and blue gear, and I was really hoping that we could get this in Ultimate form. I really wanted this in Ultimate Edition. Guess that's never going to happen. Guess we'll never see that now. Just like the Hardys. The Hardy Boys would be amazing Ultimate Edition figures. Would love to see them in Ultimate Editions, but I guess that's something that I can only dream about, unless I try and make my own customs. I think they did, I'm sorry, I say I can only make my own customs, but they did do Jeff Hardy. What I mean is, I want to get the Brood Hardy Boys. You remember when they had the baggy cargo pants and the red, like the maroon, like see-through shirts, mesh shirts, whatever you would call it? That I want that in Ultimate Edition, is what I'm trying to say. I apologize. Here's the Rey Mysterio that I got from Ringside, and this piece was missing. And it wasn't a Ringside issue, it was a production issue at Mattel. They just never put this piece of his mask on this side, the eagle part. So Ringside said, okay, well, you just keep that. We're going to send you a new one free of charge, which is why I love working with Ringside. So guys, if you buy figures, go to Ringside. They really take care of you. They are there for the customer. Here's my very first CM Punk figure. Probably the figure that means the most to me, because when I really started getting into wrestling and like paying attention to wrestling, and I knew more, like I actually cared about the wrestlers and wasn't just like, oh hey, wrestling's on, because I was a older kid at this point. When CM Punk came to the scene, I was like 14, so he was my first like I really got into somebody character. So that's why this figure is one of my most important figures, one that probably means the most to me. This is a figure I'm never going to part with. I'm never going to sell. I may be buried with this figure. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the figure that really kicked off all of my wrestling figure collecting. So this is hands down my most important figure, which is why I'm spending a little time on him here. Is it the greatest CM Punk figure? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But to me, this one is the most valuable figure in my entire collection. So if anyone came over to steal a figure, this is the one that would upset me the most if you stole from me, would be this. I love this figure. This one will never be, when we do figure giveaways, this one's never up for grabs. I could probably buy another one of these, but this particular one was my first one, so this one's never up for grabs. Anyways, moving right along. I'm sure everyone has. I'd love to know everyone's like figure. Like, what is this figure to you? Like, what is your first? That doesn't even have to be your first figure, but like your most important figure that's like really got you into figure collecting. It doesn't even have to be wrestling. Because I have other figures. I have Dragon Ball Z figures I had from when I was a kid that I still will never. I'm missing pieces for them, but I will never ever get rid of them because it was part of my like figure obsession as a kid and what really got me into figure collecting as a kid. I've got Dragon Ball Z, Lord of the Rings, wrestling, some Star Wars. Like, there's just figures that I just can't ever get rid of. But Chad Gable, however, if you guys wanted this, okay, all yours. I'm just kidding, Chad. I wouldn't do that to you. Not all yours, but here's a Grayson Waller with the white and pink. We've got a Edge in his camo pants, the dark camo. We've got one of, I think, the most underutilized characters of all time, Bobby Lashley. He's one of my absolute goats. He's not on my Mount Rushmore. I'm sorry, he's not a goat. Goat is greatest of all time. He's one of the best wrestlers that was definitely not used to the best of his ability in Bobby Lashley. Here we've got Alexis King, which, cool enough. Love his gears. Would love to get more figures of him. I hope they like mass produce him the way they do Rey Mysterio's. But I guess he's got to get that popularity first. Okay, Bradshaw's not going to want to stand. Here we've got Tyler Bate, another one that I think I have his original NXT UK figure floating around here somewhere. I don't remember if I already covered that one or not. Here we've got EC3, a guy who just had all the John Cena look, but not the skill to back it up, I suppose. Here we've got our Uncle Howdy from the 3-pack. And here we have a Mick Foley that I picked up for $1 from Jason at Treasure Trove Toy Store. Check out Treasure Trove on Facebook. Treasure Trove Toy Store. They've got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of figures you can pick up. Like, he was missing his jacket or whatever here, so he was like, okay, it's $1, he's missing stuff. So, easy cop for me. Very happy with that. Here we have Patrick Mahomes. At least the wrestling version of Patrick. He looks like Patrick Mahomes there, doesn't he? Is it just me? Just me, or does anyone else see some Patrick Mahomes in here? I actually want to get another figure to customize. I wonder if I can customize a Patrick. I bet I could make a You know what? That's gonna be a new toy hunt now. Here we've got a Drew McIntyre, which, no offense to Drew, but his characters all look the same. Like, there's not enough change from character to character. So, sorry, Drew. I'm sure, like, something in your logo changes, something in your detail changes a little bit, but I don't think it warrants all the character releases that you get. Bret Hart. James Ellsworth. In all his glory. I'll have to tell a story sometime about when I met James Ellsworth. He's such a weird little dude. Not weird, like, no, I said that. No, guys, don't take that wrong. He's not weird. He's just like, when I met him, it was a unique, I guess, experience for me to meet him. I didn't pay money to go meet him. It was more of he was there at an event that I paid money to go meet Daniel Bryan and the Bella Twins and AJ Styles back when he was champion. Daniel Bryan was this is before he came back into wrestling. He was still a manager when I went to, and I saw James Ellsworth. Anyway, getting sidetracked now. Here's a Rey Mysterio, which, if you can tell, not to scale Rey. But my very first Rey, also, no, I'm sorry, my second Rey. My first one came with a Scott Hall or Kevin Nash or something. He was just a little, like, bendy, like, extra. But this one's got the Eddie Guerrero armband. My favorite gear of all time for Rey. I love these. I love this design, this pant. I remember when I was playing SmackDown versus Raw games, I always found these pants and threw them on my custom character because I just loved the 619 move with that. Here we have a Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy with his little pig mask. Xavier Woods. Don't get lost in the woods, or lost in the woods, or whatever his move was. Glorious Bobby Roode. Here's another Street Profits Montez Ford. I didn't get to talk about the good Montez Ford, but you saw him with the gear that I really like. Here we have an Alex Wolf from Sanity. No, that's not Alexander Wolf. That's Eric. Shoot. Alexander Wolf is the one that I don't have. This one's Eric somebody, and I cannot remember his last name. I apologize. I think I did that last time, didn't I? I'm a big dumb idiot, guys. Sometimes I'm just a big dumb idiot. There's Pat McAfee, Tongaloa over here hanging out. We've got the working man Otis. We've got the blue collar heavy machinery Otis. We've got a Rey Mysterio. A Mustafa Ali that I didn't alter and is still actually a Mustafa Ali. I ordered so many of those to do customs with. Drake Maverick, who is the Maverick 24/7. And then we stole this shirt to throw it on our Logan Paul since he's now the Maverick. John Cena, his head looks kind of out of scale. It looks too small for that body. I don't know if I swapped that or not. Another working man's Otis. Can you believe it, guys? This big dumb idiot over here buys multiple of the same figure sometimes. Sometimes because I actually forget, and other times because they're like dirt cheap. And I'm like, oh, well, I could use that for a customer. I could fix up a part or piece or something on it. Here's a Miz from the 3-pack Miz, Truth, and Triple H. I do have this Ciampa. I think in the last video I just said I need to get the new Ciampa. Remember when I just said this big dumb idiot buys like multiple of the same exact character because he doesn't realize he has them? I almost, after that last video, bought this Ciampa. Almost just went out and bought this because I'm like, I need to get an updated Ciampa. I do have this Ciampa. So I guess I don't need the new Ciampa because there he is. Here we've got a Shinsuke Nakamura. We've got is that Davey Boy Smith, it looks like? I think this is a Cowboy Bob Orton. That's what it looks like to me, at least in the face. I don't know if that body's right, though. Oh, 8. He's got the 8. Okay, yeah, I guess so. Here, guys, here's the black, gold, and silver New Day Xavier Woods. Did we see the Kofi earlier in the black, gold, and silver? Or was that the Big E? I forget which one we had earlier. I have all 3 of them floating around here. Here's the one I want them to remake into Ultimate form. It will never happen now, but really want these guys in this gear in Ultimate form. I just think the gear is really, really good. Here's a Carlito from back in the day when he used to spit in the face of people who thought they were cool or didn't want to be cool. DX Triple H. Another Triple H with the pink trunks. We've got the whitest Steve Harvey figure ever made, otherwise known as the Iron Sheik. And finally, to go home, we've got this Bray Wyatt. Guys, this one ran a little bit longer, going through 100 figures than I thought it would. So I think we're going to end it here. We're almost at like 20 minutes or something like that. But any stinking ways, this whole project is to just show you guys my figure collection in case you ever want to see me do fix-ups or customs on anything. You can say, oh, hey, try and swap this with that and this with this and whoever with whatever. And then I'll try and see if I can find it and make it happen. But also just so you guys can see, like, hey, here's what's out here. This is different figures that exist. Maybe some that you missed. Maybe you stopped collecting. Maybe you're a recent collector. Maybe you've, had a missed couple of figures. It's like, whoa, I didn't know they even made this. Like, when was this moment in time? When was this character released or whatever? This is a chance for you to see, like, what all's out there. And a lot of the stuff is, well, I don't want to say it's cheap because it's the longer I keep going into wrestling figure collecting, the secondhand market can get expensive. But if you can find like a local toy shop or a local collectible shop, you can get this stuff pretty reasonably priced. Because I get like all of my elites now for $10 or less. Except for stuff that's like new on the shelf. If I'm going to Walmart and buy it, I'm paying Walmart prices. But if I'm getting stuff that's like secondhand, like this Iron Sheik with no accessories, it's like I'm just going to buy the figure because I just want the figure. This is $10 or less at like a local toy store. So if you guys can find that and become regular customers with your local toy store, that is definitely the way to go because they get so much of this stuff in. They're just trying to move it. They're like, we don't want it to sit here forever. Mostly they're buying big collections to get those like figures that are worth a good bit of money, and then try and making no money off of that and selling this stuff as cheap as they can move it. So any stinking ways, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!